Okay, let us start today's session. So as usual, first we need to open the portal.azure.com. Am I audible and the screen is visible to you?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, thank you. So as usual, I am going to select my free account trial Azure account, Indian Tech Guru for you at the rate of gmail.com. So my Azure portal homepage has been opened successfully. So in the previous session, we discussed about the availability set as well as availability zone and how we are going to set the availability set as well as the availability zone to actually have redundant virtual machines because whenever there is a problem with a particular data center or a particular region, even then our virtual machines are being up and running. That is, there will be more availability if you implement availability zone as well as availability set. So which one must be preferred first, availability zone or availability set?
Availability zone, sir.
Very good. So first you need to prefer the availability zone. If at all availability zone is not available in that particular region, then you have to go for the availability set. So setting the availability zone as well as availability set is free or cost? Setting these availability set as well as availability zones are free of cost or they are charged? Anybody please give responses. In the previous class, we have shown how to set the availability zone as well as availability set. Assume that I have set availability zone or availability set for my virtual machines. So this setup is free or not, or it incurs cost? Actually, setting the availability zone or availability set is free of cost. However, so to set up the availability zone or availability set, so we need to use additional virtual machines, isn't it? So
Yes, sir. Yes.
in case of availability zone, we need to maintain one virtual machine in one data center, that is called as zone, another virtual machine in another zone. So which incurs one more virtual machine, cost of one more virtual machine. So setting up is free. However, the additional virtual machine which we are going to create in another region or in the same region, if you are implementing availability set, is incurs cost. Okay, that is going to incur cost. So setting up is free. However, the additional virtual machines incurs cost. Okay, that is the logic behind that. So now in today's session, we will be seeing the most important concept in Azure. So why Azure has become this much popular? Because of this concept only. So what is that concept? Is ARM concept. ARM concept. Go to the search and type it as Azure Resource Manager. Azure Resource Manager. You will not get any service like that. Okay. So if you type in Azure Resource Manager ARM, then you are not going to get any service. However, in the documentation, if you see, there is Azure Resource Manager overview, Azure Resource Manager documentation, templates overview, Azure Resource Manager documentation. So what does it mean? It is not a direct service. However, it is an indirect service, but it is more popular. Okay. So using the Azure Resource Manager ARM templates, we can actually create the virtual machines very fastly, as well as we can create number of different virtual machines, number of different types
Sir,
of.
excuse me, sir. Sir,
Okay.
sir, Murli sir is waiting, sir.
Ask your question.
Sir, Murli sir is waiting, sir. Please join now.
Okay.
Jay Murli sir is waiting, sir.
Now ask him to join.
Okay, sir. Just you have to visit the meet, then he is automatically joining.
Okay. So actually, what is the problem is whenever I display another screen, then auto admit is not working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Startingly, if you are joined, then it is allowed, sir. In middle, if any person is joined, then it is not allowed.
Okay. Okay. So now let us continue. So the Azure Resource Manager is a very important concept, because using Azure Resource Manager, we can deploy virtual machines very fastly, and we can change the requirements also. We can create duplicate virtual machines as well as virtual machines by changing the properties. Okay. So now let us straight away start with ARM, how we are going to use this ARM service. So initially, let me check whether there are any virtual machines available or not, resource groups available or not. So there is only one resource group, Cloud Shell Storage, Central India. When would we created this particular resource group? Do you remember? When did we have created? Whether we have created or it is automatically created? Cloud Shell Storage, whether it is automatically created or we have created.
It is created.
It is automatically created. So it is automatically created by Azure. When it was created? In the name itself, it is there. In the file name itself, we can recognize when it is created. What is the file name? Cloud Shell Storage. Now tell me when it is created. During the usage of?
Cloud, sir.
Very good. During the usage of Cloud Shell. During the usage of Cloud Shell. Here you can find Cloud Shell, isn't it? Cloud Shell. How many different types of Cloud Shells we can implement? If you click on that, then the Cloud Shell window will be opened. So there are two different implementations as far as Cloud Shell is concerned. What are they?
PowerShell, Bash Shell, sir.
Very good. PowerShell is one implementation which is like DOS commands. So Windows-based DOS commands. It will be like Windows-supported DOS commands, whereas Bash is like Linux commands. Okay. So during the first call of the Cloud Shell, there will not be any storage. But to work with these commands, storage is needed. So that's why automatically the Azure is going to create one storage account. What is that account? cloud shell storage. Okay, so it is automatically created. So why it is created in central India? Why it is created in central India? I have not given it as central India, so it automatically selected central India. Because during the account creation, during the creation of the account, whatever the region I have selected, so based on that, it is going to create the Cloud Shell storage. So during the account creation, it will ask for the region. So I have given as Central India. So that's why it is creating the Cloud Shell storage in Central India. Okay. So I will close this Cloud Shell data. Now literally there is no virtual machine in my particular Azure account. So that's why straight away I am going to create one virtual machine. So now resource groups can be created in two different ways. What are they? Resource groups can be created in two different ways. What are they?
Availability zone, availability sets.
Okay, that is different thing. Availability zone as well as availability sets are used for maintaining redundant virtual machines. Redundant virtual machines. Okay, I am asking about resource groups. We can create resource groups in two different ways.
Using Cloud Shell, sir.
Very good. Using Cloud Shell, you can create using Azure Portal. Using Azure Portal. Okay. So any resources, not only resource group, any resources can be created in both the ways. Either you can use the Azure Portal by navigating the different menu options you can create, or you can create using the Cloud Shell. That is either using the PowerShell commands or using the Bash shell. Okay, understood? Similarly, a resource group can be created in Azure Portal in two different ways. What are they? In Azure Portal, we can create a resource group in two different ways. Okay, no problem. The first case is you can create the resource group by directly navigating to resource groups. So just go to the search and type it as resource groups, and then click on resource groups and you create resource group. That is one way. So what is the other way? You can create resource groups during the creation of the virtual machine itself. Okay, you need not to create resource group initially. During the creation of the resource group, you can create the resource group itself. During creation of the virtual machine, you can create the resource group. Okay, so just I'm selecting the virtual machines. And create virtual machine. Now here you can see the subscription is actually the subscription is needed for creating any resource in the Azure. We have the free trial subscription, and this is where you can create the resource group. Either you can use the existing resource group or you can create the resource group here itself. Here there is an option create new. Okay, if you just click on create new, then it will ask you the name of the resource group. So I shall use Dayakar RG as the name of the resource group. Then during the creation of this virtual machine, it will be creating the resource group also. Okay, those are the two different ways. Directly you can create the resource group from the resource groups option, or you can create the resource group while creating the virtual machine. Okay, these are the two different cases. Or you can use directly existing resource group, because there are no existing resource groups available. So I am creating a new resource group, and virtual machine name I am giving it as a ARM example VM. So this virtual machine I am using to actually demonstrate ARM example. And region, so region I will select East US. Now you may have a doubt, sir, why you are selecting East US? Why don't you select Central India or South India or West India, which are near to us? The reason behind that is all services are not available in all the regions. All services are not available in all the regions. Okay. So Azure available services per zone, per region. So just go to the Google search and search it as products available by region. Products available by region. Then you will have regions and availability zones in Azure. Just click on that. So products available by region. Okay, so this is the page, products available by region. So you can either select the products or you can select the products by region. Products by region overview. Compute resource, I will select compute. Okay, so then it will show you where, for example, I have selected Azure functions. Then where the in which of the areas it is available, in which of the areas it is available. Okay, so I have selected Asia Pacific India. Okay, Asia Pacific India. In Asia Pacific in India, so which of the services available? So if you see here, so as far as Azure functions are concerned, so consumption plan is available in Central India, South India, West India. Consumption plan Linux, it is not available in South India and West India. Okay, only it is available in Central India. And premium plan, so it is available in all the areas. Premium plan Linux, it is not available in South India. Okay, so similarly, if I select some other networking, if I select load balancer, networking load balancer, so then load balancer is available in all of the Asia Pacific as well as India. So let me deselect Asia Pacific and select India as well as United States. Okay, so it is available, load balancer is available in all the areas, Okay, so now let me select other product. So let me select AI plus machine learning. In AI plus machine learning, Azure Databricks. Azure Databricks. So if you select Azure Databricks, it is available in entire India as well as in West Central US and West US 3. It is not available. Okay, it is not available. For example, if you want to create a service on Azure Databricks, so then you should not select West Central US and West US 3. Okay, so why I am selecting East US is here. East US is in East US literally most of the services is available, and literally we are actually using Azure for practice purpose now. So that is why you can create your particular services in any of the regions. There is no problem. However, so if you want to implement the real-time environment, for example, if you are implementing a cloud service for Indian company, then it is better to deploy the services if at all those services are available. So it is better to implement those services in the region that is available in India. Okay, not outside India. Okay, so because it will be nearer to our company, and you are going to get faster access. So if you implement in US or some other place, then you are not going to get faster access. So that is the basic rule. Okay, so availability options I have already shown you. So I'm not going to use availability zone or availability set because this is the demonstration for ARM template. And as usual, I am going to use standard D2S V3, 2 vCPUs, 8 GB memory. So I need to give the username. So username, I will give Dayakar123, and I need to give password. So this username and password is for what? Where should we use this username and password? In the last class we discussed.
To virtual machine to log in.
Very good. So this username is password is only for this particular virtual machine whenever we are going to log into this particular virtual machine. Okay. So these are not meant for Azure services. These are not meant for Azure username password. So these are meant for only this particular virtual machine. If I delete this virtual machine, then this username password will also be deleted. Okay, we are not going to use this username and password. So these are temporary username and password for this particular virtual machine. Okay, and here you can see the public inbound ports. So as usual, inbound ports I need to select RDP 3389, and now so instead of clicking review plus create, so previously what we did, just we clicked on review plus create and then clicked on create, then the virtual machine has been created. So instead of clicking on review plus create, just click on disks. Next option, disks. So why we are clicking on disks is, so here we need to observe what type of disk it is going to use. Okay. So here you can see OS disk type, operating system disk type. So because for any computer, we need the CPU, we need the main memory, as well as we need the disk also. So in the previous class, I have shown you what is our disk and how much memory we have allocated. The Azure portal has allocated to our disk C drive. Okay, there were C drive as well as D drive also with some space. Okay, so what type of disk it is? So here you can see that it is representing as premium SSD. Premium SSD. So what is meant by SSD?
Secondary storage device.
No. So SSD means it is actually solid state drive, which is an advanced technology compared to the HDD. Okay, in case of hard disk drive, you will have a disk inside, whereas in case of SSD, you can directly access the content very fastly. Okay, so nowadays in many computers, so the hard disk drives are replaced with SSDs for fast access. Okay, even if RAM capacity is less, if you use SSDs, then it will be very faster. So what are the three different types of SSDs it is providing? It is providing premium SSD as well as standard SSD. Okay, it is providing premium SSD as well as standard SSD and standard HDD. Standard HDD. HDD means hard disk drive, which generally we use in our computer. So if you go for premium SSD, then the cost will be very high. So if you go for standard SSD, it will be somewhat better. If you go for standard HDD, then the latency will be very high. That is, you are not going to get responses fastly. Okay, so that's why which one is better option? So it is better to go for standard SSD, which is in between the premium SSD as well as standard HDD. But I am not going for standard SSD as of now. But I will show you how to change this premium SSD to standard SSD using ARM. Using ARM. Okay. Now I will leave it as it is. I will leave it as it is and click on next. While creating the virtual machine, you will have plenty of options. Previously, we have seen only the basic options. Now we are seeing in addition to those options. Okay. So I'm not going to touch the networking because networking is not covered till now. So after completion of networking, I will show you all these concepts and then click on next, management. So as far as the management is concerned, here one specific option is very, very important. You can see here, auto shutdown. Auto shutdown. So auto shutdown means assume that I am running a business. I am running a business, not regular business. So for which the website is accessed to my customers only from morning 9 o'clock to night 10 o'clock. Morning 9 o'clock to night 10 o'clock, they can access my website to actually search for the products and to actually purchase the products through online. After 10 o'clock, I am not going to allow the customers to actually purchase the products from my website. And I have deployed my particular website, web portal in Azure. Okay. So then, because Azure is providing services based on the cost. Okay. So if you utilize a particular service, then definitely it will incur some cost. So even though I am not using my virtual machine from night 10 o'clock to next day morning 9 o'clock, so it is actually utilizing my money because it is running the virtual machine during that particular time period. Okay. So that's why what I can do, I can click on auto shutdown. I can enable auto shutdown, and here I will specify the time, night 10 o'clock. Okay, night 10 o'clock. So every night 10 o'clock, it will be automatically shut down. It will be automatically shut down. But I need to give our time zone plus 5:30. Our time zone is Kolkata, Chennai, Kolkata, Mumbai, New Delhi time, UTC plus 5:30. Okay. So every day, every night 10 p.m., even though I forgot to shut down my virtual machine, so it should be automatically shut it down. You can give like this. Okay. And you can enable the backup also. So we'll discuss about backup later. So now click on next, advanced. So here we'll discuss about this custom data afterwards. And then click on next, tags. We have not discussed about tags till now. So just leave it as it is. And finally, click on review plus create. Now the virtual machine is being reviewed by Azure portal. Okay, now it is ready. Validation passed. Validation passed. So generally what we need to do next step, what is the next step? What is the next step while creating a virtual machine? Please, anybody give response.
Creating, sir.
Yes, very good. Just we need to click on create. That's it. Virtual machine will be created successfully. But now I want to show you the ARM template. I want to show you the ARM template. That is why don't click on create. Don't click on create. Just go to right side corner. Here what it is? Download a template for automation. Download a template for automation. Okay. So click on this option. I want to, instead of creating this virtual machine, I need an ARM template. I need an ARM template with whatever the specifications I have given. Okay. So then it will show you the ARM template. This is the ARM template code. This is the ARM template code for our virtual machine, for our specific virtual machine. Okay. You can see here a huge number of lines of code is there. 241 lines of code is there. But don't worry, it is not a programming code. It is not programming code. It is just a JSON code. It is just a JSON code. JSON is similar to your XML. Okay. So in XML, what will be there? Name value pairs will be there. Name value pairs will be there. Like this, here also, it is going to represent the name value pairs. That's it. What is the name of the parameter? What is the value for the parameter? So here you can see there are several different folders have been created. One is parameters. So there are several different parameters created and variables. So 3 variables it is using NSG ID, VNet ID, subnet reference, and there are one more folder known as resources. So in the resources, it is actually using several resources. I am going to minimize these two. So what are these resources? So the first resource is network interface. The second resource is network security groups. So these are all we'll discuss in networks concepts. The third one is virtual networks. And the fourth one is public IP address, which is needed to actually enter into this particular virtual machine. And the fourth one is virtual machine, actual virtual machine. Okay. Fifth one is dev test lab schedules. Okay. So, but now, what is our focus? Our focus is in virtual machine. Just click on virtual machine. So then it is the code for virtual machine. Okay. It is the code for virtual machine. So what is the code? Just let us analyze this code. So what is the parameter? Virtual machine name. Virtual machine name is the parameter. And what is the value? Microsoft.compute virtual machines. That is, so this virtual machine creation comes under which service? Compute service. Okay. Point to be noted. Virtual creation of virtual machines comes under which service? Compute service. Compute service. Okay. So then app version 1.3.2021 and location. So Microsoft.network interfaces and hardware profile, virtual machine size, from image OS disk to Microsoft Windows Server. What type of machine we are creating? Microsoft Windows Server 2019 data center, second generation. Next, here there are two parameters: admin username, admin passcode. Location, auto shutdown status. So we have given auto shutdown status. So these are all the different parameters we have. So for the virtual machine we have created. First I will search for premium. No such results. Okay. So this is this particular file is called as ARM template. Okay. This particular file is called as ARM template. Now, so let me change any specific parameter. For example, I want to change a specific parameter. Let me see. So click on parameters. And see what are the different parameters, values. Okay, so here you can see the SKU 2019 data center second generation. Okay, so this is the machine we are going to use. For example, assume that I want to actually change this machine. I tried to modify this content. Then what it is saying? It is saying that cannot edit in read-only editor. So what does it mean? Whatever the file we have whatever the file we are using, this particular file is a read-only file, and this particular editor, whatever the editor Azure is providing, this is only the read-only editor. Then how could we actually modify the content? So now for that purpose, now you can see here a download button is there. Okay, so just click on the download. Just click on the download, then it will be downloaded. So I'm going to download it into the desktop. I'll create a new folder, ARM example, and in this folder I'm going to save. Okay, so this particular ARM file is actually stored as template.zip. Okay, so in the ARM example, I'm going to navigate to that template.zip file. I'm going to unzip that particular file to extract to template. And if I see that in that particular file, then you can find two different JSON files. Okay, whenever we are going to download the ARM file, then two JSON files will be downloaded. What are they? Parameters.json and templates.json. Parameters.json and template.json. Okay, so these two parameters are there. Now just I'm going to open. So now I want to open these two files and see what is the content, whether they are editable or not. So for that purpose, the best coding platform is VS Code. VS Code means Visual Studio Code. Okay. So just go to the browser and click on download VS Code for Windows. Download VS Code for Windows. Then you can download the VS Code editor, which is a popular editor for editing literally all of the Azure content we are going to edit in VS Code. So VS Code is actually used to edit any type of different code. Okay, so you can use VS Code for Python, C, C++, .NET, C#. So literally any software we can use this VS Code. So I have already installed this VS Code. You can install this VS Code in your system also. So once it is being installed, then just go to this particular folder and click on, type it as CMD. I want to open the command prompt and I want to directly go to the VS Code. So to directly go to the VS Code from here, just type code dot. Then these two files will be opened in our VS Code. So this is the VS Code editor. Here you can see these two JSON files, parameters.json as template.json. Why we are opening these two files in VS Code? Because in the editor provided by Azure, we cannot actually modify the content of these files. Okay. So however, here you can modify the content of these files. Okay. So here the visualization is also very good compared to Azure's editor. Okay. So here in the parameters.json, now you can see OS disk type. So what is the OS disk type? Premium LRS. That is, it is going to use the premium SSD. Okay. So however, we have seen that using the premium SSD, so it is more cost. So that is why I want to change this premium SSD to standard SSD. Now it is editable. Type it as standard SSD -LRS. Keep it as it is. We'll discuss about LRS later. So just what I have changed from premium to standard SSD. Okay, standard SSD. That is one change. And the other change is, so here value is Dayakar 123. What is this value? Admin username. For entering to this particular virtual machine, what value I have given? I have given it as Dayakar 123. But here admin password will not be downloaded. That is very, very important. Okay. So it is going to show you only admin username, but admin password is not visible because it is confidential. It is not going to show the admin password. Okay, admin password. So now we need to give the particular admin password so that this ARM template is successfully used for deployment. Okay. So now just give whatever the admin password you have used while creating the virtual machine. Okay. So here give the admin password. Now we have successfully changed the one parameter. What is that parameter? We have changed it from premium SSD to standard SSD, and then save this content. So the content is saved. Okay. Now once again go to Azure. till now, if you have any doubts, you can clarify now. So ARM is very important concept in Azure.
Sir, full form of ARM, sir.
Azure Resource Manager.
Resource.
Azure Resource Manager. ARM, which type of file? ARM is of which type of file?
JSON, sir.
JSON, very good. It is
Yes,
a
sir.
JSON
JSON.
file. You'll have the key value pairs in JSON file, like your XML file. So previously we were using XML. Now JSON is more popular than the XML. Okay. No doubts? Whatever we covered till now?
No, sir. No.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now what is our aim? We have downloaded an ARM template from the Azure for a particular virtual machine, which has been validated successfully, but virtual machine has not been created. Okay. So now I want to use that particular ARM, and I want to create a virtual machine from the ARM, from using the particular ARM. Okay. So then what we need to use? We are going to use the template deployment. Okay. So just type template. So then you will find template deployment. Click on template deployment. Click on template deployment. Now, so you'll have several different options. Create a Windows virtual machine. We are going to create Windows virtual machine using the template. Okay. So what is the resource group? Resource group I have already created, Dayakar RG, East US. Okay. So now I will give the admin username, password. I will leave all the remaining as it is. Next, review plus create. Next, click on create. Now, meanwhile, it is being created. Now we have actually created a virtual machine, and then we actually downloaded the ARM template. But are there any ARM templates that are available predefined so that I can directly utilize them? Okay, so without being created, so shall I directly utilize the existing ARMs? So for that purpose, there will be huge number of ARM templates available in GitHub. So the address is github.com/Azure stack quick start templates. Okay, so here you can find a huge number of available templates, so which are like the templates what we have created. Okay, so how would we create a template? So actually we started creating the virtual machine, and without clicking on create, we have downloaded the ARM template like that. So all these different ARM templates have been created and provided by the GitHub. Okay, what is GitHub? What is Git? We'll see later. As of now, these are all the available templates. You can see huge number of templates are available. Okay, so here I will show you one interesting template which we generally use. VM Windows Create. Okay, this is one of the simplest template we generally use. So we can create a Linux virtual machine. Okay, we can create a virtual net, only virtual net. We can create NSG. We can create Docker, and we can even create a blank template also. So here you can see huge number of templates are available. For example, just let me click on a particular template. So VMSS Windows VM. Just click on that. Okay. So here you can find who have created this particular template, and you can download this particular template. Okay. So after downloading this particular template, you can actually utilize this particular template in our Azure to actually create a virtual machine. Now just go to the resource group. So this is how we can use the ARM template to actually download the ARM template and utilize the ARM template, as well as we can get the ARM templates from the GitHub, where huge number of templates are available. So that's all about today's class. So in the next class, we will see how to actually create multiple virtual machines using a single ARM template. So till now, if you have any doubts, you can clarify.
Sir, after creating virtual machine, we cannot run any program, sir.
Yes, of course. After creating the virtual machine, what does it mean? You have a personal computer in a remote location. For example, if I create a virtual machine, Windows-based virtual machine in West US, then you will have your Windows operating system in West US. Then you can install any software in that particular Windows, and you can run web applications. And you can share those web applications like we share in from our computer system. That's why if you observed what type of Windows machines we have created, we have created Windows Server machines, so that we are going to deploy web services on that particular Windows operating system. So once you deploy the web services, then those web services can be accessed by any other general public, like our website, but our website will be running in cloud platform.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Is that okay? Understood?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So what does it mean is, generally how we are going to provide web services. In case of Java web services, we are going to provide Java web services using Tomcat server, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Similarly, in case of PHP, we are going to use XAMPP server.
Okay, sir.
Similarly, in case of .NET programs, we are going to use .NET Core.
Okay.
So these particular servers will be installed in that particular Windows operating system where we have created virtual machine. Virtual machine is nothing but Windows operating system only, but in remote location. Okay. So
Okay,
once we actually install that particular software, server software, and deploy an application, for example, online exams portal is there. I'm going to deploy that online example portal in web apps of Tomcat server. Then you can access that particular website. How we can access, we have already shown. Okay. So there will be a public IP address. Using that public IP address, we can access. So instead of the public IP address, you can also change the public IP address into a specific website address. That we will see later. DNS. Okay.
Okay.
So instead of giving the public IP address, we can actually change the public IP address into domain name service. That we will see later. Once we change the domain name service, for example, you might have find the results portal, JNTU results portal. Previously, JNTU results portal name is JNTUA results.azurewebsites.com, isn't it?
All the results are available from Azure.
Yes, sir. Actually, JNTU Anantapur people have deployed their web application in Azure portal.
Yes.
So that the website name is jntua.results.azurewebsites.com.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Like that, we are going to get, for example, if I am running online exams, and the DNS name is online exams, then what address I am going to get? Online exams.azurewebsites.net. Then the general public are going to access cloud services.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, for opening the JSON, we require the any other software, sir, by using the Edit Plus or.
No. Actually, JSON is not an executable file. Okay. It is only like XML file where we are going to store the name, value, pairs, parameters. That's it. So it will be opened in Edit Plus or Notepad or any of the tools. It is just a text file.
Okay, sir.
And we need not to actually learn JSON. That is not a programming language.
Just for changing the option.
Yes, yes. Just for changing the options, we can actually open the JSON file, and accordingly, if you gain experience, then we can easily see what are the changes we need to do. For example, if your project manager asks you to change from standard SSD to premium SSD,
Okay.
because more computing power is needed, then we
Okay.
can just open the JSON file and change the standard SSD to premium SSD, and then redeploy the particular virtual machine.
Okay, sir. Just you are telling that one has open in the Visual Studio. It is not requiring.
It is not required. Actually, why we are using Visual Studio is we need to, if you need to deploy a .NET application in Azure, which we will see
Then you are
later.
requiring.
In the
Okay.
near future, we are going to deploy an application, a web application, which is developed in .NET, so into the Azure portal.
Okay. Okay. Okay, sir.
So
Okay.
for that purpose, we need the particular VS Code, and
Okay.
basically in industry side, all the .NET based environment, Azure, Microsoft Azure files, all the Microsoft Azure files will be actually edited in VS Code software only, VS Code editor only. Okay. So
Okay,
in
sir. Okay.
Java side, all the code will be edited using the Eclipse. Okay.
Eclipse and NetBeans.
Eclipse and NetBeans. In industry, Eclipse will be used.
Okay, sir.
Only these two are used for Microsoft products. VS Code for
Reading
Java-based web applications, Eclipse. That's it.
Eclipse. Okay, sir.
So these two will be used. That is why it is better to use these editors, so that we will get hands-on how we are
Okay.
use these services. Okay. So
Okay, thank you, sir.
anybody else who have doubts? Okay. If nobody are having any doubts, then we can conclude this session.